Have you ever just felt like you were meant for more, but you weren't quite sure how to unlock that potential? Well, today, we're going to unpack a really powerful framework for doing just that. Think of it as a roadmap for turning that deep personal desire into real-world impact. It's all based on the teachings of Apostle Michael Orokpo. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive in with something that sounds like a total paradox, right? The core idea here is that a deep, focused desire for more is the very thing that helps you get it. But on the flip side, if you lack that drive, that hunger, you actually risk losing even the little that you already have. Think about that for a second.
So this brings up a really big question, one that's right at the heart of personal growth and making a difference in the world. What is the engine that actually drives a person toward their destiny? What's the fuel?
Well, if desire is the engine, let's take a closer look under the hood. You see, this whole framework argues that the starting point for everything isn't action, it isn't even skill. It's a powerful internal force, a consciously developed desire. Now, let's be clear. We're not talking about just wishful thinking or some kind of selfish ambition. This is defined as a focused, developed appetite for growth. According to this framework, it's a hunger that literally sets an individual apart for a specific purpose, to serve a higher calling and to truly impact humanity.
And this slide, wow, it really lays out a stark choice, doesn't it? The argument is that if a person is destined for leadership, but instead gets lost in distractions, like reality TV or just endless entertainment, they're misdirecting their focus. And there are real consequences. That opportunity to lead, it might just pass them by.
So, okay, once that desire is ignited, the next critical step is a total transformation of the mind. And this is way more than just positive thinking. It's about discovering a brand new, way more powerful identity that becomes the foundation for everything else you do.
So the first identity this framework reveals is a big one. You are light. Now, this isn't just a nice metaphor. It's presented as an inherent authority you have to push back darkness, no matter how thick or how long it's been there. I mean, think about it. Even the tiniest flicker of light always has authority over the dark.
And this next one illustrates another dimension. You are the wind. So what does that even mean? It means you're inherently untrappable. You're unstoppable. You have access to any door, any height, even the corridors of power. It's not something you have to ask for, it's just who you are. It's your nature.
And finally, you are a flame of fire. I mean, wow. This identity is all about power. It's the capacity to execute judgment, to bring things into alignment, and to remind any opposing forces of their defeat just by your presence.
So you take these big core identities, light, wind, fire, and they translate into two really practical roles in the world. As a priest, you possess and influence every sphere you walk into. And as a king, you wield authority through your words and your actions. This gives you a really clear mandate to both influence and lead, right where you are.
But just having a powerful identity isn't quite enough. That identity has to be anchored in something solid, something real. It needs a deep, experiential knowledge of your source of strength. Because it's from that root system that the power for great achievements or exploits really comes.
This ancient text just gets right to the heart of it. Strength and significant achievements, those exploits, they're a direct result of a deep, personal, experiential knowledge. See, it's not about what you've heard from someone else. It's all about what you know for yourself, deep down in your bones.
And this slide just illustrates that principle perfectly. It's framed as a heritage, like a legacy of revelation, a specific understanding of a higher power, in this case, El Shaddai, which means the multi-breasted one, implying this limitless provision. It gets passed down. And look at the results. It produces tangible, real-world outcomes in each generation, from prospering during a famine to outgrowing an oppressor.
So how do you get this rootedness? Well, it's built on three pillars that work in a specific sequence. It all starts with that deep experiential knowledge. That knowledge naturally produces an unwavering faith. And then, that faith leads to prompt obedience. You act on what you know. That's the foundation that this framework says can withstand any storm.
All right, let's get to the final piece of the puzzle. This is where we see how this internal reality, your desire, your identity, your knowledge, translates into external impact. With all that in place, your mission is to become what the source calls a proof producer in the world. And this right here, this is a huge mindset shift for a lot of people. The primary place where you demonstrate your purpose isn't necessarily a place of worship. It's your workplace. It's your industry, your community. You might be raised in one place, but you are sent to the world. Okay, this brings us to a harsh but absolutely vital truth, and this example is just so stark. The point is, your spiritual belief without real-world competence is totally ineffective. In fact, it brings reproach, not favor. Good intentions are great, but they can't cover for incompetence.
So the crucial takeaway here is that excellence in your chosen field is completely non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if you're a banker, a lecturer, or a footballer, the mandate is to be exceptionally good at what you do. That priesthood role, that ability to influence your sphere, it has to be backed up by professional expertise.
And that's the ultimate goal, right? To become what's called a proof producer. So what is that? It's someone whose life, whose work, whose results, they provide undeniable evidence that there's a higher wisdom and power at work. Your competence itself becomes the testament.
And so, that's where we'll end. After unpacking this entire framework from igniting that desire, to discovering your identity, to getting rooted in knowledge, and then pursuing excellence, the question has to turn back to you. It's a real challenge to think about the tangible evidence, the actual proof that your own journey will offer the world. What's it going to be?